What is Bitcoin and how can I invest in it? Bitcoin is a digital currency. There's a lot of different viewpoints on this. People are calling it a digital asset. People say it has no worth at all. But when people say there's no worth, the question that I always ask them is, do you drive to Western Union to send your money? Let me explain a little bit more. Bitcoin is a digital currency that effectively makes you your own bank. Once you own Bitcoin, you are completely in control of your money, which could be a good thing or could be a bad thing, depending if you don't trust yourself. Some people do trust banks. Some people think that it might be safer than holding Bitcoin. That's up to you. And when we get into the investing part of this, or how do I invest in Bitcoin, I will also explain a little bit about that, because there's also two ways to hold your Bitcoin. One is self-custody and one is in the custody of an exchange. Let's get into the self-custody first. Or actually, we could go into the exchange first, because I feel like that self-custody is more important to understand. An exchange is more like a bank. Some examples of exchanges are Bitunx, Binance, Bitfinex. But the downside of using an exchange is that you don't own your Bitcoins. So basically, you really don't own anything if you have your money on an exchange. It's the exchange's money, but you could take it off. If the exchange goes down, you will lose everything. That's why self-custody is very important. But exchanges also make on-ramping and off-ramping, also known as buying Bitcoin or selling Bitcoin for cash, it makes it much easier for certain places, let's say, because there's a lot of places that you can exchange Bitcoin for cash very easily. But in the United States, it's kind of illegal, let's say, because when Bitcoin first started, there was a website called Local Bitcoins. You could find somebody who was buying or selling Bitcoins for cash, meet them. That's what I did when I got started. But with time, even though they said that Bitcoin was not a currency, but at the same time saying that Bitcoin was a security or a stock or whatever they were calling it. So let's get into the self-custody part. There are websites such as Bitunx or Binance, and the link to Bitunx is also in the description if you want to try that out. There are P2P solutions where you can buy Bitcoin for cash, which is, a more privacy-eccentric way to buy it, rather than buying with your bank account. And, that also is a big part of the philosophy of Bitcoin, I believe. Let me sum up a few things to end this video. Whether you think of Bitcoin as a currency or an asset or investment, that is up to you. Whether you buy Bitcoin self-custody or in the custody of an exchange, that is also up to you, whichever way you feel comfortable. But the most recommended way to do it is to hold self-custody. If the exchange goes down, if there's a huge hack, there is a possibility that you could lose your Bitcoins if you do not download a self-custody wallet with the 12-word keys. It is always a risk, but that would be up to you. Personally, I would never hold my money or my Bitcoin on an exchange. I consider my Bitcoin my money because to me it is a currency. It is my bank account, which has been growing very significantly, while your dollars holding them in a savings account have been losing to inflation. That is the difference. I hope you understand. If you have any questions about Bitcoin, I'm happy to answer them in the comments. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.